Hello and welcome in. I am creating some videos for each sign based on your rising sign that will contain intuitive guidance just for you if you identify with the Sisterhood of the Rose. In this guidance, what I'm going to be calling in is guidance from the Marys within these cards. And I am going to be asking them to tell us a story for each rising sign of what is really opening and unfolding with the current astrological energy, which we all know we've been going through extreme transits. There's been a lot happening. And something really opened up through the solar eclipse for many people, the solar eclipse that happened April 8th. And then we had that huge Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, a beautiful new moon in Taurus, and then a very powerful full moon that we just had here in Sagittarius. And it's leading us into this ongoing story that Jupiter and Venus are really expanding us into from a soul's growth perspective. We are expanding into these new versions of self. And as Venus goes into Gemini soon along with Jupiter, Venus is going to have a full Venus and it's going to complete a cycle. And that seems very powerful and potent. And so I just wanted to really call in wisdom from my guidance team for all of you who identify with the Sisterhood of the Rose, to really hear maybe a little bit more of what might be going on, what might be opening up and calling you forward right now. So listen in with your own discernment for what feels right and what feels true for you. Allow it to sit with you. And this may not resonate for everyone, but I am going to create videos for each rising sign, and I hope you enjoy. And also, please share this content. I'm bad at even saying to like and subscribe and share. So if you wouldn't mind, please do so if you find a benefit, or if you know of anyone who you suspect might be also a part of the Rose lineage of light, also a part of the Sisterhood of the Rose. Thanks so much and enjoy. Hello and welcome into your reading, Leo Risings. I am so glad that you are here today. We have pulled some cards with the Marys. They have chosen 4 different decks. With the 2 first decks have 4 messages each, and the first 4 messages kind of are telling a story for you on what is really broken open, what is unfolding since eclipse season, since the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, since the very powerful Taurus new moon, and then the Sagittarius full moon in May. What's going on energetically as we're shifting into a lot more air energy. So let's tune into the soul growth, to the journey. And the first card that came up was this card of 5 of Cups, which really speaks to some disappointment. And so that is the energy that's sort of leading us into this reading, this energy of disappointment and maybe having gone through a difficult experience. And so if that is true, Leo Risings, I am so sorry to hear that. You know, again, just allow this to resonate with what is true, but it speaks to an experience that basically didn't go as expected, might have been really disappointing emotionally, and that sometimes that disappointment is really meant to be a catalyst, a soul growth catalyst that will help to push you in the right direction. But the energy of disappointment can be very overwhelming, and it can be difficult to not get stuck. And so this is also a reminder from your angels, from your guides, to not allow yourself to get stuck in disappointment, but to begin to potentially even start to find the meaning in what was going on. So the next card that came forward for you was the upside down Knight of Pentacles. And so this really speaks to me about something that really disappointed you was related to your personal sense of ambition. And perhaps you're feeling like the wind got kicked out of your sails a little bit, or you might feel a little stalled in your creation energy, or the propelling, the momentum behind your ambition might feel a little stressed at the moment because of this disappointment that you're going through. And it looks like it was a pretty intimate relationship. It looks like it was something really close to you, a deep partnership, and it doesn't necessarily have to mean lovers, but it does really symbolize that energy of intimacy and lovers. And it also symbolizes, though, close business partnership, intimate relationships really of any kind, and how when we're in an intimate relationship, it really allows us to see the divine in another. It allows us to blend into unity. And sometimes, whether it's a business or a personal relationship, partnerships are a way of bringing consciousness into that creation. And so perhaps that is what is kind of affecting your ambition and your ability to move forward, is that perhaps you experienced, a loss, and it looks like it might have even been some type of betrayal. So when I see an upside down Three of Swords, what I see is someone who has been deceived, someone who's very sad, very hurt emotionally, in a state of grief, and potentially even overwhelming state of grief too. And so sometimes if you have lost something of significant magnitude, it's really difficult, to go back to this first card where it speaks to reframing the situation, to try to see it for what it brought to you, what you learned, potentially what the lesson was there for you. But when you're in the middle of that pain, it's very difficult to see past that. And so this card is also a reminder that, especially during times of difficulty, of sadness, that your guides, your angels, they're supporting you and ultimately helping to encourage you into a deeper relationship, into greater closeness with them. So let's take a look at the rest of your reading and see what's going on. Let's get some clarity. So the next deck that was chosen for you was the Akashic Tarot deck. So this is a little bit different. I love this deck though. It really looks deeper into what's going on. And this card is the Lookout, however, upside down again. And so right side up, what this card shows is it shows a person up on the mast of a ship that is on fire. And so he is looking down and he's watching this ship go down. He's watching basically the challenging situation that is not his taking place, but he is still a part of it. And so in the reversed position, that could potentially be you underneath this burning ship. But you might have fallen in some way out of your position, but it looks like this is saying maybe you are now free from the battle, you're free from that difficulty, but it does speak to potentially you finding yourself in a difficult loss again, the loss potentially of a job or of a relationship or a creative opportunity. And Spirit is saying, as painful and challenging as it might seem, this is going to be truly a gift for you in disguise. And this is a loss that takes you out somehow of some kind of conflict that you are not meant to be entangled with. So it's setting you free for an even higher opportunity And it's going to give your nervous system the ability to finally rest, Leo rising. You're going to allow this homeostasis to return so that you're no longer having to be on the defensive. All right, let's see. What is this next card that Spirit is bringing through for you, Leo rising? So we've got beautiful. So this is called the Master Artisan, and what it's portraying is inside of a bright and bustling artisan's workshop, apprentices are busy at their work, and their workbenches are full of the beautiful fruits of their labor. And it's a card that indicates that you now have the opportunity to offer your talents, your purpose, your gifts to the world and make a contribution to many. And Spirit's saying, don't be shy. Don't hold back with what you have to share. It's not time to hide your light anymore. And as a matter of fact, it's saying that you may even find yourself teaching or training others with this skill set that you have. You might be demonstrating your gifts or performing your talents more publicly. So this is a time that is good for you to build your reputation in a positive way. That's going to bring opportunities and advantages your way. And this card is really encouraging you to put yourself out there and to give yourself that opportunity to shine in ways that maybe have felt scary before. Okay, so the next clarifier here is the scribe. It's the scribe upside down. Let's take a look right side up. And the scribe is upside down, speaking to potentially you having skipped over opportunities for some higher learning or an uplifting discovery that can take you beyond where you are today. And so it's talking again about you might have been asked to lead a group or to share your gifts in some way, but potentially you haven't responded to that request. So maybe taking a look at not holding yourself back any further, Leo rising. There's more for you. And this card again is saying that you have the mantle of a higher intellect and your mind is wanting you to open it further and to feed it and to continue to utilize the talents and gifts to bring those forward and allow yourself to shine. It's also saying that if this disappointment right here happen to have any kind of a legal component related to it, that you are going to find the right person who's going to help you. You might be meeting the right attorney, lawyer, professional, someone who will assist you, but to do your due diligence and make sure that you are going with someone who doesn't present themselves falsely. It's recommending that you thoroughly investigate and use your intuition so that you don't get misled along the way. So listen to that guidance that is coming through. Okay, let's take a look. The very last clarifying card here is beautiful, and it speaks to this Leo ascendant energy. It's the Queen of Forces. And it really shows, this card shows a woman balancing the energies of the sun on one hand and the moon on another, with a river flowing beneath her feet. She represents a woman who can bring greater balance into your life, and she brings an unusual combination of power and peace, creativity and receptivity in both her energy and her support. So this card can represent a person in your life. It can also be you coming into a phase of greater power and also showing that you are going to have the ability to sustain it and have wonderful results doing that. This card indicates that there's a gift of grace and serene understanding. It also brings new roles, new opportunities, and new career potentials that relate to science, global communication, nature, and energy. This also could be the appearance of a possible love interest or an associate in business or creative project who has powerful influence and connections for you or for another. So tune into whatever is, that seems to have a broad meaning, but it does indicate that there's potentially a helpful person coming if that is not representative of you and a new growth phase that you are in. So you'll just have to feel into what feels true and accurate for you. All right, so now we have 3 guidance cards that are really meant to tune into that deeper soul growth journey that you're on and kind of give some illumination as to what is unfolding right now. What are you learning at the deeper level? And, it could be coming with some harder lessons. This first card here is talking about how you're not for everyone. And so it again is sort of reiterating the sense of loss, the sense of disappointment, the sense of disconnect in some kind of a relationship where you felt potentially that the alignment might just have been off. And sometimes the world is filled with people who don't always like us. But it's also filled with people who will love us fiercely and who will love you fiercely. And those are your people. It's okay to not be everything for everyone. It's okay to not always be the right fit. And so this card is really a reminder to not waste your precious time, really, trying to convince anyone else of your value, or even allowing yourself to wallow in the pain of the loss, because what it's saying is that you need to take the time to heal your precious energy, and that you are meant for specific people on your path for a reason, and sharing your path with the people you are meant to share it with help to guide you more into your true north, but they also will bring for you this beautiful blossoming in your own life. So don't allow those no's, this didn't work out, to somehow define you, is what I'm really feeling. Don't let that define yourself going forward. All right, the next card that is coming up as a guidance card for you, it speaks to maybe, this lesson may have been coming from a male figure. What this card brings forward and speaks to is, I really get a lot of divine union when I see this card. It speaks to Horus energy. It speaks of protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. And what this is really speaking to is that on an etheric level, you are so much more protected than you can imagine. And this is a card saying it's safe to heal your heart. It's safe to open up and release all of that disappointment, from the back of your heart chakra. Allow yourself to open up into a new level of support right now. And you could be going through a period of time that you're really clearing some ancestral patterning. You're clearing potentially some current life traumas or some past life karmic impressions. And sometimes those experiences, those cause us to sometimes carry some mistrust and some suspicion of loyalty for others. And this is a card that it's reminding us that when we do that, you're blocking yourself from receiving the support that you need, and that's not always going to be the case, right? And so this energy is coming through to let you know that you are deeply held, secure, and safe even when you're going through a difficult time. And the Star Brothers are here for you to guide you. They want you to hand over your fears to them. They want you to see those fears as an opportunity to let in more love. And so they're asking you to stay open to receiving a greater level of support than you currently are, but also than what you can imagine. They're advising you to call in your team, not only on this earth plane, but also your spirit guides, your angels, your ancestors that are supporting you and working with you energetically. And they want to help you to lean into softening through the ups and downs, and especially learn to open your heart when it wants to harden the most. Okay. And the last card is on page 114, and I just have to call that out because that seems like a divine number for some of you. And the guidance is trust the timing. Trust the wave that you came in on. And there's not any time running out. So sometimes we feel like we're here for a reason, and there's this sense that time is running out, and you spend too much time when that's the case in worry, in a state of worry that you might miss your moment. But the only way that you're going to miss your moment is if you are spending time worrying about missing your moment. And this card is really saying it's never too late. Never too late to answer a call. You're never too old. The tides of your life are always magnificently orchestrated. And you're riding a wave that has already been put in motion by your unconscious aspect of self. So don't waste your precious time and energy, when instead lean into the enjoyment of life, of riding the wave. Everything has a season, and you are being called to trust in the one that you are in. Don't let the impatience, the comparison, the competition, or the paranoia disturb the seeds that you have growing. This is also indicating to mind your mind. Pay attention to your mental health, to your level of anxiety, to potentially put down the phone, stop the Insta scrolling for a while, and rest your mind. Allow your mind to reach that space of stillness and communion with your soul self. And that will really help to amplify your sense of trust and the season that you're in. It will remind you that you're never late, you're always on time, and things are unfolding for you in perfect and in divine time. All right, and now we have your guidance card, which contains some deep medicine, and what Spirit chose for you is actually one of the best decks that you can receive guidance from, because it comes with all this extra juicy energy. See that beautiful card? This is from the Crystal Realms Oracle deck. And so pointing to the number 5, pointing to Shakti energy, pointing to you seeing the tangerine quartz as a healing stone or tool, or anything with that beautiful tangerine hue, and solar plexus chakra energy. And so let's see what this card wants to bring forward for you. And it speaks about creativity, self-worth, playfulness. The Shakti energy is the primordial cosmic energy, the balanced energy to Shiva, or the balanced energy to the masculine. So the Shakti is the divine feminine to the Shiva, who is the divine masculine, would be a better way to say that. She is often described as being the ultimate empowering goddess and the embodiment of creativity and the divine feminine, which urges you to seek personal or spiritual growth and expansion, and to raise your vibration and work with your consciousness towards enlightenment. Tangerine quartz is also used to aid in healing from past life or any current trauma wounding. So here we have that again, coming in saying, here's your medicine for any trauma that you're working on. as these stones will um, help you to radiate joy and courage, also help you step back into the innocence of playfulness. And so that's really coming through too, is to allow yourself to tune into your inner child, into that divine feminine, maybe even sensual sacral energy as well. I don't just feel solar plexus chakra energy here. I feel sacral energy, really cultivating and nourishing your creative center, which does begin in the sacral. And it will aid really in raising your vibratory frequency and helping you to tune back into your own personal knowing of your self-worth, and keeping that natural, playful, and childlike curiosity, and also that childlike frequency. It's going to really take you into the frequency of joy. And when you create from a space of joy, that is really when you call the highest frequency into your creations. And you're truly, I believe, that's when we're able to really open up as a channel and allow that divine force to flow through us as us. So I really think that that's the key for you to shift. Sounds like what's happening is very work related. Potentially a business partnership gone wrong, or a relationship that had a very negative effect on whatever it was you were doing. But I hope that you have found this message or this reading to be supportively arisings, and I would really love to hear if any of this did resonate for you. I hope that it will help support you, help uplift you, help illuminate what is going on, and give you some tools to work with as you work through this process that's unfolding. So take good care. I appreciate any likes, any subscribes, and any shares of my work, and we'll see you soon. Bye.